I'm eating more food and I'm losing weight. What the heck? I feel like I have just reversed the aging process without a doubt. I'm turning 54 in like a few weeks and I feel physically stronger now than I ever have in my life.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, so today I've got another Warrior Babe here with us, Warrior Babe Darcy, who before Warrior Babe spent years climbing the corporate ladder and she was caring for everyone else until her health hit a breaking point. After losing her mother at 60 and recognizing that her own path was leading in the same direction, she knew that she had to change something. And with Warrior Babe, she's been able to stop the cycle of yo-yo dieting, finally understanding her body and creating daily habits that support her health from the inside out. And now at 53, she has more energy now, she has more confidence, and she has a body that she absolutely loves. And today she's here to share her story with us. Welcome, Darcy.
Welcome.
Cool. So let's let everybody know where you are located in the States. What do you do for work? And I already shared with how old you are, so we don't need to go down there.
Yeah. So I live in Denver, Colorado. I've been here about 25 years. Love it.
Mhm.
And I am actually at a point in transition where I spent several years in the whole technology space, as Nikki had alluded to. And I've taken some time off, and I'm actually at a point in my life where I think I may make a total career transition. So, for the better.
Wow. Well, celebrating you in this season of life. So let's talk about where you were before you found Warrior Babe. Like, what did your situation with health and fitness look like then?
Holy cow. I mean, the story is so common among so many of us with trying so many different programs out there. I went from Weight Watchers to you name it. It was a good process to start, but then if you had a bad day and you didn't eat well, oh my
Mm.
goodness, the pounds would come back on and the bloating in the face would occur, and it was a really challenging space to be in trying all these programs and not having much success. So,
Yeah, not only the pounds that came back on, but how
oh,
about like the feelings of like, oh, I'm here again, or the guilt, the shame, all the things that women experience when they're trying these diets over and over and over again. Nothing's
yeah.
working. It's like I'm a failure at this. Nothing's gonna work for me.
And up, down, left, right, yo-yo, I mean, you name it. It was crazy. And talk about feeling defeated. That was
Yeah.
probably the main feeling that came across.
Wow. You mentioned when I was reading like the forum prior to you coming on this interview with me that you reached your highest ever weight trying these yo-yo
Mhm.
programs. How did that affect your confidence, especially within the like career path that you were in?
Yeah, it was really a quite a struggle. When I was working and trying to do these programs and things weren't going my way and my nervous system was just firing on all levels because of the stress levels, and then you layer on the stress from these programs not working, and let's say you kind of divert for a while to try to either take a break or you're on vacation. It was really vacation, Nikki, that did it for me last summer when I ended up hitting my highest weight. Family and I, we were gone for like a week and a half overseas, and I came
Mm.
back and looking at the pictures and feeling the bloat in my face. I was at such a critical point, and especially losing my mom young. I was like, okay, I'm either going to take the right path or the left path.
Right.
And the right path, I'm going to make a drastic change, or I'm going to stay on the left path and my health is just going to decrease and I won't
Mhm.
be able to move and ultimately end up on the path where my mom ended up, where she passed at she was at age 60.
Yeah. What
So,
was it that she passed from?
cancer.
Yeah, that's so sad. I'm sorry for your loss. Would you say that was like your breaking point, like last summer vacation and then
Yeah.
seeing your mom?
It was breaking point in terms of I'm either going to make a drastic change and invest in myself
Hmm.
or leave things as they were and just know that the outcome probably was not going to be a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna get to that point where, maybe either an ad or something like that popped up on your feed and it was like a godsend or maybe it was a podcast episode. We'll get there.
Yep.
But I want to ask you, what did it feel like when you were trying like all of these programs? Like you seem like I mean, to be in to working at Cisco and in tech, like it's a very grind mode. You seem very determined and you have the grit to do what you've done in your career path professionally.
Yeah.
How did it feel when like you were putting in all of this effort into these programs and you weren't getting the results that you thought you would be getting from them?
It just was absolutely crushing, I felt. It was so frustrating to the level that you spend time and money doing these things. And what I would find is whenever I did a program, I would end up heavier in weight than when
Mm-hmm.
I went in. So I was like in this perpetual pattern where I would try something, I would be done because I just wasn't motivated or I didn't have the habits in place to continue. And
Right.
then something else, to your point, would pop up. I'm like, okay, well, I'll try that. I would go
Right.
on that program. They may have some support, a coach here or there who really didn't know what they were doing. And then pre-made food that would send in the, send in the mail that you add water, do that program. Oh yeah, yeah. I've done some good ones.
Oh my goodness, Darcy. Holy cow. I've never heard of that one. They send you food and you just add
Oh, it's a
water?
little, I don't know if I could disclose, but anyways,
Yeah, it's
it's
okay.
out there. So then I'm doing this program and I'm like, okay, this person has no idea what she's talking about. And then I'm gaining the weight. And then, of course, I go on the travel and I'm like, okay, free for all. I'm off the wagon. So let's just enjoy. And then I was like, holy wow, this is not good.
Do you remember how many like calories these programs had you on or around roughly?
Like with Weight Watchers, it was pretty standard weight, but there was really no conversation around calories, or at least for myself, I wasn't really tracking to the calories. I was more tracking to their points.
Right.
With Optavia, this other program, I actually went back to look at these little packets that
Yeah.
they had, and they had there was quite a few that had, the calorie counts with the bar code on the back, so you could do the scan, of course. And I think it was tracking, but to a set calorie count. There was no conversation around the readjusting or the phases of the program, or like how to kind of dial things in or out. So it was just pure, you eat these packets this day. And yeah, I wasn't even counting. It was crazy, Nikki. I mean,
Wow.
there was no
Interesting.
rhyme or reason except for the fact of just eat the food, do some exercise, no emphasis on exercise, even.
What was the exercise routine that you were either told or what were you doing for yourself?
I've been generally a runner my whole life. So I would go out on my own and go run every few days. It wasn't working for me because the
Right.
food intake, along with the running, the cardio constantly, really was a mismatch. And
Mm,
that is one thing that I've learned with your program. The walking has been so critical. And then, of course, the lifting. I love the lifting, and it's shifted my whole way of even looking at exercise completely,
mm,
but I love it.
mm.
So,
Okay, I can't wait to dive into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about those first like couple weeks like inside of Warrior Babe. What was that like? Like adjusting to your macros, adjusting to like you mentioned you were a runner, doing more walking, doing the lifting, metabolism. Like what was the first couple weeks like?
I feel I gave myself grace when I first joined the program. There is a lot that
Love
does
that.
come at you, in a positive way. And I was in habit of just taking a couple things every few days and making the changes so that the habits were moving me in the right direction. I hate to admit this, Nikki, but like I signed up in June. It probably wasn't until July where I really started saying, okay, I got to take this seriously. I really aligned with the lifting really well. Like, and getting into the gym, I was not intimidated showing up there with the men and young and old, whatever. I kind of embraced that. And the consistency I've had with the lifting has been great. Food, it's been a little bit of a journey. I'm getting better, and my focus has been on the macros, the calories, like really dialing in on the good foods. And I had this mindset where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm working out, then I can treat myself. So
Mm.
I've had to like rethink that because as Victoria had said, she's like, you can't outrun or you can't outwork out the food. And I'm like,
Yep.
you're absolutely right.
I love the honesty of you saying like, yeah, you joined in June and but it wasn't until like July that you really, kicked it off. So many women say that. And I think it's to be, and I love that you gave yourself grace because there's a lot of great things coming at you at the beginning. And it's like a good overwhelming feeling, but it is overwhelming, and you're changing habits rather quickly, and then some you'll have to like work your way into, which takes time, and then also like our methodology and the things to start implementing into your life. It takes time to do that. So I love and respect that you were honest around that. What phase did you guys start out in?
Well, I had to go through the whole kind of reset of my body because it was so off. I mean, at that point, heaviest weight I've ever been at. And
Yeah,
Coach Victoria was really focusing on helping me kind of find my kind of my stable level. So it took us some time to tweak a little
sure.
bit. So not maintenance, but like the transition phase of
Yeah, like
like
retraining your metabolism.
retraining. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of women have to do that. How did it feel to have Victoria say like, you came in eating maybe not as much as what you guys ended up working up to? How did it feel to have more food added to your day on a daily basis?
It was I can distinctly remember saying, "Holy cow, I'm eating more food and I'm losing weight. What the heck is going on here?" It kind of it's like this reverse psychology that plays in, and then that's when you're like, "Okay, I have to lean into this, trust it, have faith in the process, have faith in how this works, and just stick to it as close as you can." And you start seeing the results. And then as you go through the program, your body starts reforming, as you know, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything that you say in those podcasts is I'm now experiencing, and it's coming to fruition. And it's a 180 really in attitude, in positivity, and faith in this. And you just are like, okay. And if you have a bad day, this is what I love, Nikki, so much with the science of this. You have, okay, so maybe you fall off a day,
Mhm.
4th of July, whatever. You're not getting bloated again and puffy, and you're not losing the progress that you're making. You're like, okay, I'm just going to get back on the wagon, and we're going to just reset, restart, and go. And it's like you don't miss a beat. And that's what's so beautiful. And it's everything, to your point. It's emotionally, physically, mentally, even spiritually. It's you take the weight off and it lifts you. It increases your light and your happiness. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
So did Worry Babe live up to its to the low expectations that you set for it?
It has. I mean, it has over exceeded. It's been such an incredible journey.
Mm.
So grateful. I'm so grateful I found you on Facebook. I've also seen some on Instagram. Now you're a regular listener to your macro hour, especially while I'm working out. And you did a session with Dr. Stacy Sims.
Hmm.
That was spectacular. I mean, talk about you and her, the knowledge base between the two of you, and you're just jamming back and forth, and it's so
Yeah.
good. I've
Oh, I
sent
love
it
that.
to many people. Like that has been the one that is wonderful. So
Oh,
like hats
love
off
that. Yeah, I
to
felt like I
you.
was talking to my like bigger sister on that podcast. Like we were just jamming, having a good time, talking about all the things. I love that you love that episode,
Yeah.
and thank you for being a avid listener of the podcast. So let's talk about where you are in your journey now. Since I mean, it's been a year, right? A
Mhm.
year and like a month. You're on your second year. We're
Yep.
thinking about the third year.
Yeah.
Let's share some of your biggest accomplishments that you've had, both physically and mentally.
Yeah, I would say so physically, I feel like I have just reversed the aging process without a doubt. I'm turning 54 in like a few weeks, and I feel, physically stronger now than I ever have in my life. And like I said, I've always been an athlete, but not understanding the science behind it. So, like, as you mentioned, I mean, with the program, you bring these huge components in, and even doing the pre drinks, like the pre protein drinks versus the post protein
Yeah.
drinks, just to fuel your body with the muscles. Like I said, I mean, my arms, my stomach has a little more work, but my legs are looking fantastic. I mean, I've restructured my body in such a way that I really do now love it, and I enjoy, getting into a bathing suit, unlike a couple years ago, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's been really wonderful. Mentally, like I said, I'm willing to lean in, take risks, have a new view on life, change a career, make some big decisions, but I'm not afraid of it. I know it's all going to work out, and I have the strength and the endurance to lean in and persevere. So, really excited about this new chapter. Year two, I mentioned this to you a little bit just before we started this, was, there was a gal on the podcast, and she said so distinctly, year one is really about creating the habits, and year two is about really shifting into the lifestyle. And
Mm.
that stuck with me for it stuck with me for months. So when I knew year two was coming up, conversations with the husband, it's a no-brainer. The amount that you invest now to save for later is so worth it. I mean, you think about the cost of your health later
Mhm.
days when you can't move, invest now so that for the future, you're better off and you just ease into those, phase two of life with grace and strength. And one thing that I have to say, Nikki, so living out in Colorado, was a big skier years ago. And my
Mhm.
kids grew up skiing. These little guys are now in their 20s, and they seriously fly down the hill. I mean, husband and I, it was hard for a long time for us to keep up with them. And I have to say, with all the core work that I've done, I'm skiing with them. I am going as fast and as in control as they are, and
Wow.
I'm not losing my breath. I mean, I'm right there with them, and they're in their 20s.
That's amazing. Look at you.
I've got some dear friends of mine, and they've seen the progress that I've made, and a handful of them will make some changes here and there, but they won't do the full approach.
Mhm.
So they're right back where they are. I mean, they're making some improvements, but with your program, and this is just so ingenious, Nikki, how you figured this out by taking all of these components and working them together. That's where the change happens. And I mean, I could have been, sure, eating, less calories, whatever, puttering along, but I would have still been where I was a year ago if I just didn't go full in and invest in myself,
Yeah.
right? And you need all the components. And that's one thing that I'm trying to emphasize with people that I know. You have to do it all. You can't just do a piece of it, and you may get some results, but it's not the complete picture. And that's,
Yeah.
like I said, how you were so masterful through your trainings and your knowledge and even your background with nursing to
Mhm.
bring it all together.
Thank you, Darcy. I appreciate that. So, as we kind of wrap it up here, for anybody that is listening to this right now or watching this right now and it's on the fence, maybe they've seen, I've been on so many interviews where like babes have been like, yeah, I saw your ad, but I waited like 3 months. So, what would you want to tell them about like just taking the leap and what,
Yeah.
yeah, what would you tell somebody like that's
I'd
listening?
say, I don't think, you're going to go on and you're going to hear these podcasts and you're going to see testimonials and all that. Don't wait the 2, 3 months. It's like you might need that. So do what you need to do. At the same time, jump in and start sooner than later. I would say for so long, I had this hesitation about investing in myself and giving myself permission to invest. I mean, yes, this is an investment, but it really is for your health. It's for your future. It's worth it. I mean, it's going to be, yeah, it'll be a little costly, but you break it down month over month with access to a phenomenal coach and really detail around how to do the program. Everything's fed to you. Like you just have to take your bits and pieces and, you'll make changes and every few days, whatever, but invest in yourself and do
Yeah.
it. It's going to pay off now for the future.
Yeah.
And you will be able to run around with the grandkids. I own the gym. I walk in and I friggin' own everyone in there. I'm like, move over, like it's just this confidence, this
Heck
attitude, and
yeah.
I just have this strut, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep reversing the aging process. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. So just do it. I mean, it's so worth it. And you're gonna change your life and you're gonna feel so much better and you will reset your new normal and not even just go think through, wow, I was so off and now I'm so on. So
I
yeah.
love that, Darcy. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for your incredible journey with as a warrior babe, and as it continues to go on. I'm celebrating your successes here, and you've accomplished so much, and I can't wait to see what you continue to accomplish with
Yeah.
yourself, with your mentally and physically. And to everyone listening here, like Darcy's journey is living proof that it's never too late to choose yourself. She didn't just build strength; she built boundaries. She built, self-respect, and most importantly, what I'm hearing throughout this entire interview is you have an unstoppable mindset now. I'm sure you had it before, but it seems like this confidence is just like, through the roof. So just if anybody's, interested in WarriorBabe, check out WarriorBabe.com. This could be, your story. You could be a testimony too as well. Darcy, thank you for sharing your story with us. I appreciate your
Oh
time.
gosh, my pleasure. Thank you for what you're doing. You have been such an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.